finally, we've got to finish on maybe talking about the Spurs briefly, because obviously they take part in this final kind of games for the Champions League, but they're not involved in it at all. And they go into this game with the very severe possibility that Arsenal could finish above them and finish in, the Europa Conference League places for them. What can you say about Spurs, a Spurs team that is in drifting towards a bit of a meltdown this summer, don't you think?
Daniel Levy, their chairman, said it far better than me. He came out yesterday speaking to the fans. He said they'd lost sight of the club's DNA in recent times, and I think he's absolutely nailed it. I know so many people who were in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this week who booed at the final whistle. The players didn't immediately come out and do a lap of honour. Half the fans left 35 minutes after full time. They then emerged. It's just a complete disarray at Tottenham Hotspur right now. He's going to take responsibility for that. He's going to take responsibility for putting a 29-year-old in the shape of Ryan Mason in charge until the end of the season. They could easily end up finishing 9th in the table. Firstly, the fans will be even more unhappy if Arsenal finish above them, because we know the North London bragging rights, that's a real thing. That is a real thing,
yes.
Okay? So they're going to definitely be unhappy about that. But there's a reality here. You're about to lose your best player, probably the best player that's ever played for Tottenham Hotspur, certainly since maybe Jimmy Greaves, way back when, the 60s. This is a Tottenham Hotspur side that hasn't won trophies regularly. It's been a long, long time since they've won anything at all. They lost the cup final in the EFL Cup this year. They could lose Harry Kane. For me, what on earth is the club doing? That is a player who you put your future into, who you build around, who has a shape, who has a role in shaping the club going forward. Now he wants to leave, and that could be huge. Not just for Tottenham Hotspur, but the Premier League for the next 5 years. Imagine if he ends up at Manchester City, huge ramifications, a total joke to put Ryan Mason in charge. He's been, as you said, a competition winner. I think he's looked worse than that. I think most competition winners, if they supported Tottenham, would have been better.
I've promoted him. I've promoted him a little bit. I'm going to make him a substitute teacher. Yeah, I'll put him a substitute teacher now, because it does feel like he came in and they went, oh, we can kind of do what we want here for a bit. And there's been a few moments against the lesser sides where they've played with that bit of freedom. But with a substitute teacher, there's no ramifications, guys. and with that, you then kind of do what you want. And there just isn't that same kind of spirit in the team. And that performance against Aston Villa was absolutely atrocious. I think you're right. There's so many experienced figures out there that you could have brought in to kind of just have that experience at the right times to get yourselves into European football. And it's getting very scary for them, because you get to the summer and if Kane goes, Bale goes, Reguilon goes, you've got an aging team elsewhere. You look at West Ham above them at the moment. We think at the moment that's going to be a bit of an anomaly. I think that could be the future. What do you think?
Look, there are some very good teams in the Premier League. It's going to be a very competitive league next year. It's very tough to call. It all comes down to the summer, who makes big improvements, who's got some money to spend. But of course, every club in the Premier League, each and every summer, looks to improve. The only club that you can really see getting worse right now is Tottenham Hotspur, especially if they lose Harry Kane. And what will that mean for the other players in the squad? We know Gareth Bale's likely to go back to Real Madrid, but will Heung-min Son want to stay on a sinking ship, not a stinking ship?
Well, so you think.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm not sure about that. So yeah, Tottenham Hotspur really need to be careful with what they're doing, looking over their shoulder this summer.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.